Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome to Keto Smoked. This is our channel where we're going to focus on doing some keto recipes to share with you. And also, we love to smoke, so we combine those two things. It's really given us a lot of versatility for my family to really explore different recipes that we normally would not have done. And it's also a way to get more variety in your diet so you don't get so tired of bacon and eggs all the time. So remember, if you're a fan, if you're interested, make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, and stay tuned. We'll be getting these videos out as regularly as possible. Welcome to Keto Smoked. Today we're going to start off by making a smoked buffalo chicken dip. Now this is going to be with some keto ingredients to help cut down on the amount of sugar and the carbs that you have, and we're also going to do some things that are a little bit different. Now I've looked all around. I can find buffalo chicken dip, I can find smoked buffalo chicken dip, but I haven't found a recipe where everything's smoked. So we're going to do all of that today to really just jack up the smoking flavor. So you can see I've already started here with, I've got 4 blocks of cream cheese, and all I do with these is I just season them very liberally with whatever type of rub you prefer. I've used the one that I've got. It's a good mix of garlic, salt, paprika, pepper, onion powder. It's just got a lot of stuff that I like. Again, by doing this, you can control how much carbs and how much sugar is going into your diet. But you put these, once you coat it, make sure you coat all 4 sides, not just the top and the sides. Make sure you get the other side too. You put these on your smoker. They smoke at 225 for about 2 hours. You don't have to score them or anything. They just naturally will develop these little cracks in here, and they just come out with amazing flavor on them. Once you've done that, the next part you're going to need to do is the chicken. Now I've got boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. They don't dry out as bad as the chicken breast, and they've got a lot more flavor to them. Again, I've seasoned these with the same seasoning. You're welcome to use whatever seasoning you prefer. I've seasoned these. I've put them in the fridge overnight. That allows them to do almost like a dry brine, but not really. The salt will pull out some of the excess moisture and just makes them take the seasoning that much better, and you get that much more flavor. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head out to the smoker and put these on. We're going to put these on at 425 for about an hour. Now we do want to make sure we get a meat probe in here so we can monitor the temperature. You can also use an instant read thermometer. You definitely want to make sure these are done before you pull them off. The great thing about chicken thighs, they're really hard to overcook, so they're a lot more forgiving than chicken breast. If you want to use chicken breast, you can. These just have a little more flavor, a little more fat, especially if you're on a keto diet. Alright, so here we are. You can see I'm using a RegTech. This is the RT700. I've got my temperature set to 425. Now I did add some applewood chips for a little extra smoky flavor on there. You don't have to add those, but it's up to you. Now, I'll go ahead and show you this. I did put one of my thermometer probes into one of the chicken thighs here, so that way I can monitor it through my grill. If you don't have that, it's fine, and I'm still going to use an instant read thermometer always before I pull my chicken off to make sure it's done to the correct temperature. You'll notice anytime I'm handling chicken or any type of raw meat, I'm going to be using gloves just for sanitary purposes. And once you go to pull it off, you can also have nice little heat-proof gloves for dealing with anything on the grill. Safety first. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on. Now I've got these chicken thighs laid out on a rack just to make it a little bit simpler when it comes to cooking. This one in particular I've got set off here. Get my thermometer plugged Now I've got the chicken thighs on the smoker, and we'll go ahead and talk about the rest of the ingredients for this buffalo chicken dip. Now we already discussed the smoked cream cheese. We're also going to do a ranch. Normally you'll see people use a ranch dressing. Ranch dressing can have relatively low carbs, but if you just want to cut a few more carbs out, and what's something I prefer to do, and I've done it and it turns out great, I'll take sour cream and then I'll take some packets of ranch. In this case we're actually using a Fiesta ranch because we're kind of doing the whole buffalo chicken dip, so we're giving it a little extra spice. The ranch packets don't have any carbs in them at all. So if you mix that with the sour cream, you wind up with less carbs than traditional ranch dressing. The other things that we're going to put on here is I like a lot of blue cheese crumbles on top of my dip. You don't have to do that, it's just a preference. And you can also add some shredded cheese on there. The best way would be grating it yourself, but if you don't have time, pre-shredded is fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually take our sour cream and just mix it up with the ranch packets as directed on the packet. Now, actual amounts, if you're just wanting to make a small amount of this dip the first time up, you can actually start with a half a cup of hot sauce, because you will need some buffalo sauce for your buffalo chicken dip. You can use about a half a cup of the ranch dressing or the sour cream mixture, 1 block of the cream cheese, and about 2 cups or about a pound of chicken. Depends on how you like it. It's not an exact recipe. Feel free to add more chicken if you like a lot more chicken in your dip. If you like a little more cream cheese in it, feel free to just make it your own. These are just guidelines to give you options and variety. So all I'm going to do now is go ahead and mix up the ranch, like I said, as directed on the packet. Alright, so I've got the chicken off of the smoker, and if you'll take a look, as I said, 425 for about an hour. Took it off a few minutes earlier, double checked the temperature to make sure it was up to temperature, and it's actually got some really great crispiness to the top of it, and it's still very, very juicy. I don't know if this comes through or not, but it's extremely juicy, and one of the good things about chicken thighs. You also get to taste test, so. Now, I mixed up the ranch packet with the sour cream. Something you can do that's very handy. Instead of getting another container out to put the excess ranch in, just use the old sour cream container. You already got a lid for it and everything, so anything you don't need, pop it right in there. Once we've got this done, I'm going to go ahead and cut this up, add it to the ranch. I'm going to add my smoked cream cheese, then I'll add my hot sauce. If I want to stir in some shredded cheese, that will be the time to do it. Top it up with the blue cheese crumbles, go back onto the smoker. Now, I'm using, for this, just a little disposable pan. Feel free to use anything you want. Also, for those on the keto lifestyle, these are the wraps that we prefer. There's a bunch of wraps out there, extremely low carb. In my household, we like these. You can actually see they're running about 30 grams of carbs per wrap, but they do have 25 grams of fiber. So that means you have a net carbs of only about 5 grams per wrap. With everything else we've done here, you're well below 10 grams of carb for the entire meal. And I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this chicken up. When we come back, I'll be mixing everything up, getting it into the pan, ready to go back onto the smoker. Alright, so I finished cutting up the chicken, and a lot of times you'll find that with smoking it the way that I did, it actually just pulls apart, so you may not even be able to, or need to cut it up. But you just pull it apart there. If you want to throw a little more of your rub on, this will be the time to do it. I've got my Fiesta ranch sour cream mixed up. I've got my smoked cream cheese. This is going to go in now. Then I'll add my chicken, and I'm going to use the hot sauce that I'm using today. You use whatever hot sauce you prefer. This is the one that, you know, everybody puts on everything. So let me go ahead and add this and get this mixed up. Just put your cream cheese right in there. If you've just pulled this off the smoker, it will be a little warm, but it'll be nice and soft, so it's easy to mix up. If you've pre-smoked it beforehand, you may need to warm it up a little bit just to get it soft enough to be able to mix. Just start mixing that up to just the way you like it. The great thing about this dip is you're literally mixing it up how much you want. The original recipe, I will link the recipe down at the bottom to give you amounts and everything just for the basic amounts. But obviously you can scale this up. If you've got friends coming over, this is great. It's just easy and simple. The steps that we're taking today is just basically adding more and more flavor to each of the steps. You obviously could even go so far as to get yourself a rotisserie chicken, pull the chicken from there, shred it up, cut it up, use that. We've used canned chicken in the past, which also turns out nice. This just adds, like I said, an extra layer of flavor. So we're going to go ahead and add all of our chicken in here because we like a good meaty dip. And again, I'm using this pan to smoke it in once I'm done. And just stir that in real well. Get everything nice and consistent. Go ahead and add my hot sauce. I'm going to add some shredded cheese to ours today. I've got a mixture of cheddar and Monterey Jack. Add a little bit of shredded cheese. Then I'm going to add some of the blue cheese into the mixture, but most of the blue cheese will be on top. This is where we're just going to take our time, mix it together, and feel free. If you've got an idea for a recipe or you have a question about any of the steps that we've taken today, feel free to drop a comment, let us know. We do have an Instagram page, which I'll drop a link in the bottom, as well as a Facebook page. I will link recipes, but as always, if you have a favorite hot sauce or ranch dressing you like to use, or hot sauce or particular dry rub you like to use for your recipes, feel free to use that. This is just what we have in our area as well as what we like. I've tried mail order stuff, I've tried stuff from the local grocery stores. It's all in your taste. But being on the keto, you do get a lot more aware of the carbs and the sugar and everything. And it's one of the things that's helped us a lot. Eating a little bit better, and especially now it's getting more and more expensive, but eating a little bit better, improving your health is definitely worth the investment. You're only going to get out what you put into your body. That has always been true. Just want to make sure you're getting all of that cream cheese mixed up in there thoroughly. Again, if you're pulling it right off of the smoker, it's going to be a lot softer and it's going to mix a lot easier. And we're just going to put this in our pan for smoking. bit later. Just smooth this out into our pan. Got lots of good chunks of chicken in this particular batch. Just smoothing it out, making it a little more presentable, as it were. Again, I'm just going to take a little bit of cheese here on top. It's one thing on keto, we can definitely never have enough cheese. This is just a crumbled blue cheese that most people can pick up at your local supermarket. That's just the one that we happen to have here. I'm going to get this on the smoker at 350 degrees. Leave it on there about for 20 minutes just to make sure that I've got a good amount of smoke flavor going through the whole dip. We've already smoked the chicken, we've already smoked the cream cheese. The buffalo sauce is mixed in there very well. We're really just kind of melting the cheese and getting the smoke flavor throughout. So I'll be back to show you the finished product. Alright, so I have just taken the buffalo chicken dip off the smoker. It was on there for about just over 20 minutes at 350 degrees. You can see the cheese is melted. The blue cheese doesn't melt like the cheddar will, but it is on top there, slightly melted. I have one of my Mission Carb Balance whole wheat wraps, and I'm just going to take some of this now, and you can see a slight crust on top, just to start forming of the crust from the cheese melting. Scoop this right onto a wrap. And if you're like me and you like a little bit of ranch or blue cheese dressing with your buffalo chicken, I have found some blue cheese that is actually made with the yogurt, so it's pretty low carb. This is actually only about 2 grams, so 5 grams for the wrap, 2 grams for a little bit of dressing. I've got about 1 gram in sour cream, not much in the way of cheese or cream cheese. Just going to put a little bit of the blue cheese dressing on there. Close that up. And now you can fold this up however you like it. I fold it up burrito style. If you like it spicy, you can obviously put more hot sauce. If you don't, you can put a little bit less. I put about 1/2 cup in this batch. That is incredible. You can still tell the buffalo's there. If you want it spicier, like I said, you can put a little more hot sauce on there. This is pretty tame. It lets everybody in the family be able to eat it without blowing your head off. But yeah, make sure you give us a like and subscribe. This is our premiere episode. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you for more. Again, if you have questions or comments, suggestions, drop a comment below and give us a like and subscribe. Thank you.